Hey.
What up?
Oh my God. Thinking about putting some headphones in, but I don't know. How do I sound?
You sound good.
Can you
Yeah.
sound? I mean, can you hear yourself when you talk?
Like an echo, or do you mean just generally? No echo.
Generally. Like, bitch, do you have ears?
Well,
Anyway,
shit, I love the sound of my own voice.
obviously. That's why we made a podcast. We love to hear ourselves. If you guys don't know what's going on, this is Tea with Chi. If you don't know who we are, this is Sochi. That is me.
And Michael.
Period.
Yeah. You're looking like like Isabella from The Fountain right now.
I look like I'm dying.
I mean...
It's the first snow. So what's been going on with you though? I mean, it's been a while since we caught up.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I've been, just busy with school and all that. I've been having a good like 2-3 days, but for like a week before that, just shit was just like not on top of things at all. But that's okay. But what about you? What's been going on?
Well, I mean, not much. Been chilling, going to work, been having a lot of days off. Well, because my boss gave me like 3 days off consecutively last week, and then yesterday was my day off. I cleaned all day. I mean, I deep cleaned. It was an early spring clean. I mean, my stove, I pulled it out for some reason. I was like, I want to pull out my stove and I want to see like what's underneath and what's along the cabinet, because there's always that crack between the cabinet and the stove. You get shit in there all the time. So there was hella shit. So I cleaned it up. And then I also lifted the lid of the stove, I guess you'd call it, the top part of the stove, and cleaned all in there too. And
damn.
Yeah, I was like, I went in and I pretty much just have to like put away, whatever was on like the surfaces, like the counter and like the chair. The chair always gets built up with clothes.
Sure.
So yeah, I just have to do that.
That's what chairs are for.
Exactly. You just move it from one spot to another. And then and then today I'm just gonna finish cleaning up all that in this little desk area. There's not that much to do, and then do some laundry. So that's my plan for today.
I gotta do laundry today too.
Laundry's so hard to like stay on top of. Like,
yeah.
Thankfully, I have a lot of clothes.
You go to a laundrette, right?
No, I have my I have laundry on site here.
Is that a thing, a laundrette? Or is it? No, it's laundromat, isn't it?
Yeah, laundromat.
I don't know why I thought that. Oh yeah, there's one on site.
Yeah, there's one here.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's like getting the quarters for that shit can be annoying, because you gotta pull out money and all this shit. But yeah.
The one in my building has like an app that you use.
Oh.
Way better. Yeah, because it sucks getting quarters.
That part, yeah, exactly. I mean, I wish we had that, but like, our little laundromat's a little janky. Apparently, some old tenants like fucked up the washers and dryers. There's only 2 dryers that work. There used to be 5, but there's only 2 that work. And then there's also, I think there's like 3 or 4 washers that work. So, I mean, only one person at a time or 2 people at a time, if like one person isn't taking up 2 washers and 2 dryers, can actually do laundry at the same time. So I usually just do one load at a time. That way I'm not being an asshole and taking up all the things. Someone else has to wash. But from time to time, if it doesn't look busy, I'll use both of them. I don't care. But yeah.
Cool.
And then but Frankie and I went to Mammoth Lakes last week.
How was that?
It was so nice. It was so beautiful out there. It was so scenic. Like it just seemed like unreal, you know, and seeing like the mountains in the distance, like they're huge, first of all, but then they're covered in snow and you see like the pine trees just like from and the pine trees are so big, so like
Mm.
from far away you can see them so clearly. Um
Hmm.
it was beautiful. It was really nice, and we just kind of dilly dallied. Oh, the second day I took so okay, the first night I had taken a half a stem of a shroom and it was teeny tiny, you know, and I was like, half a stem, that's
Yeah.
it. Like I just want a little vibe, you know.
A
And
little
that
vibe.
actually, yeah, and that actually worked. And
Okay.
I was good that night. I actually it was like I was having some thoughts that I was obviously not trying to have. So
Sure.
for example, I was seeing the body, like a silhouette of somebody that I didn't want to think about in that moment,
Uh-huh.
you know?
Okay.
And and I finally and it was just flashing in colors, you know, this silhouette of this person. And
Wow.
then I was like, okay, I'm just I'm gonna accept it. You know what I mean? And so I decided to like let that go.
Hmm.
And then I felt better afterwards. Then I started thinking, I've been having a lot of memories, you know, like of things that have happened. I think because, you know, now's the time where I feel good and safe. And usually when you feel good and safe,
You
those
have time to
memories,
think about
yeah,
that kind of stuff. Sure.
those things always come up. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just accepted it, and then it was fine, and I was feeling good that night, and Frankie and I went to bed late because he took like 6 mushrooms, like big ones.
Wow.
Yeah, because at first like he didn't feel them for like a good hour and a half, and then he took another,
That always
he
happens.
kept taking more.
Sure. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he was like violently high 40 minutes later.
Yep.
So it took like 2.5 hours for it to hit for him, or 2 hours.
Wow.
And he was just, and he got up, and you know Frankie's usually really good
Really
on
chill. Yeah,
shrooms.
yeah,
And he got up and he was like, I just heard him making all these uncomfortable noises, and I was
yeah.
like, you okay? Like, what's going on? He's like, I'm violently high.
Yeah.
And he goes to the bathroom. He tries to go to the bathroom. He tries to throw up.
Oh,
Nothing's
yeah, yeah,
happening, you know. And so he's uncomfortable for a minute. So I turn off. We had Netflix on the laptop because we had brought it with us,
yeah.
and I turned it off, and I just like turned off the lights, and I put on music
Yeah, that's a good vibe.
for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just like, you know, I handpicked all the songs, and he was like, what playlist is this? I'm like, I'm just going through like
Yeah, yeah.
all my playlists and picking
Yeah.
songs that I think will be good for you.
I
And
love that.
he,
That's fun.
yeah, and then he really was able to calm down and
Yeah.
vibe and everything, but he didn't go to bed till like 5 in the morning
Sure.
because he was, you know, so stimulated. So and then we got up at like 10 or 10:30, got our stuff together. And then I was like, oh, you know, cool. Like, let me just take half a stem. So I took half a stem, and it was a bigger chunk than the half a stem that I had took the night before.
Sure.
And it was one of what Frankie had taken. He didn't eat the rest of that big
Okay.
mushroom that I sent you that picture of.
Yeah.
And shit, I was seriously like just throwing up for hours. Like,
Oh,
and the thing
no.
is, I had forgotten. Like, I totally forgotten that I took it a half a stem because I was
Sure.
like, I'm gonna be vibing. Like, it's cool. Like, I don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
Woo, bitch. So we went to a little restaurant, this warming hut, and it was super cute out there.
Uh,
And then I get a big glass of orange juice because I'm thirsty,
oh,
and I start chugging the orange juice, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa. Like literally 3 minutes later, I was like, oh fuck. Like
yeah.
I was no longer hungry. Like I was starving. I was ready to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
grub. I wasn't hungry, and all of a sudden I was like, I feel weird. Like all of
Yeah.
a sudden that anxiety, pure anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
uneasiness just all over my body. And I'm like, oh shit. Ooh, I
Yeah.
got a sharp pain. Okay. I'm dying. No, I'm just kidding.
Just
But
now
yeah,
you got a sharp pain?
yeah, right here.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. My body's weird. But yeah, so then I
Jesus.
kind of started just feeling really uneasy, uncomfortable, and we're just sitting there, and I'm like bouncing around, like, and I say, I'm like, we got to get out of here. I'm like, we got to go. I'm like, I got to walk. I got to do something. Like, I was sweating. I was not doing good. I took off my sweater that I had just gotten from the car because I was so cold.
Yeah.
And then I eat a little bit of a fruit parfait. That was all I was able to down. I couldn't look at the food. I couldn't look at anything. I was like, please cover it up if you're done eating. Like, I was like this. And so then we leave the place, and I tell him, I'm sorry, like, I need to grab my stuff and I need to go to the car right now. So I grab my stuff. And he's like, don't worry about it. Like, you know, he's really understanding. I took care of him the night before, and like,
of course,
he took care of me that day. And he's like, okay, just go, whatever. I'll take care of everything that's over here. And I left him with all the food on the table, all the drinks, and then and I took my cup of water, just like running over to the car. And I go behind the car, and I'm like, and just like full on bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully though, I had only eaten like fruit, and orange juice.
Yeah.
So it wasn't gross. Like,
I
was just, it was so much. And Frankie was like, that looks like a smoothie. He was like, we could literally box that back up, you know?
Oh my God.
It was fresh.
It's organic.
Yeah. Kitana's over here trying to eat my vomit.
Oh my God.
But it was a hot mess. And then we drove around, and I had a bag in the car, and I threw up in the bag, and the bag had a hole in it. So it was all over my pants.
Oh.
It was just a shit show.
Just a shit show.
He pulls over. We get rid of the bag. We found a dumpster somewhere. I got rid of the bag. I found another bag in my car. Thank God. I put a bunch of paper towels because I had a roll of paper towels in my car for some reason a long time ago. I put one in there, and thank God, because it came in clutch. Yeah. So I took a bunch of paper towels. I patted the bottom of the bag with the paper towels, and I used that. And I was just, I mean, shit, like, I drank mostly water, but it's like my body cleared out everything that was in my stomach, you know. And it was just like, it was not good. And then so I'm trying to put on music. Nothing's really hitting me. So I put on the best go-to song ever, My Sweet Lord by
Dude, such a good one. Yeah.
And every time, like, sober, you know, even sober, I play that song 2 or 3 times. I gotta hear it, you know.
It's like song. It's a perfect kind of pick you up song.
Yeah, it's like, it's also like, for me, very, like, in my sense, a religious song. You know.
I agree.
So I was listening to that. We were driving, and I was like, oh, this is it. Like, because the scenery, the snow, the mountains, the wind, it was perfect. And then I needed to cry, and that song, like I said, sober alone will also make me cry, you know. So it just, like, it was a good release, because when you're on shrooms, sometimes it feels like your body has to do everything at once. You gotta poop, you gotta pee, you gotta vomit, you gotta cry, you gotta do all of it.
You gotta, it's like,
you gotta get
overwhelming.
It out. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So I listened to that, and then I was good. We found this place. We went on a walk. I was a little uneasy at first, but once we started, like, really going onto the snow, and I just started focusing on what was around me, and, like, nature, the scenery, my uneasiness in my body, like, kind of went away. But the moment, like, but it was so frustrating because I felt so exhausted. I felt so tired. Like, I just wanted to sleep.
But you can't.
But I couldn't, and I was so anxious. Like, I was like, I gotta do something, but I want to sleep. Like, my body feels
I've felt that before. I remember, it's definitely, like, the kind of thing, I don't really get how people microdose, because I think it's better if it's kind of special, and it's, like, just every once in a while, especially because you have to, like, all the circumstances have to be right. You have to be, not have anything to do. You got to have the right babysitter, the right nice environment, nature around you, you know, not have eaten for a good while so that your stomach's not fucking with you. And then, and just have, like, a day like that. Because that's the worst, when you are, like, wanting to be sober and go to sleep, but you're just
Mm.
there tripping and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah, and
The
that's
worst.
how Frankie was the night before. He was
Right.
so frustrated because he's like, I just want to go to sleep and I'm so tired. And
Yeah.
like the whole thing that happened when, you came over here with the
Yeah.
mushrooms, it was the same thing for me. I was like, I just was so tired and couldn't go to sleep. So that's really frustrating to deal with.
Mm.
But eventually, like, I think 3 hours after I started like really feeling something, it went away.
Right.
And I was like, because I knew I was just kind of like, what time is it? Okay, it's gonna go away in a couple hours. I'm gonna be fine, like, and I
Honestly,
know
like
that it's
that's probably
passing.
the best part of the trip is the part where you kind of stop tripping. like like the first 3 hours, the craziness is like can be very fun, but I
Mhm.
feel like it's like this the second 3 or 4 hours where it's like your eyes are still like saucers and you're
Right.
still totally like under its influence, but you're not like hallucinating and your heart's not pounding and you're just like calm
Yeah.
and
And
in that
see,
mind state.
that was the frustrating thing is like I didn't feel like I was tripping at all. Like
Right.
it was just my body was my
Like
body
rejecting
was
it.
reacting to it,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
mentally I was just like, whoa, this sucks. Like,
Yeah, that's not fun.
no, it was not fun. But yeah, after I had like gone to the bathroom, we found a bathroom. We were gonna go on a gondola, but they closed because we had to go to the bathroom. Then they
Sure.
closed. And when we came out, they were closed. I was like, oh no. But we ended up, going home earlier because it was kind of like, well, when it's snowing, there's only so much you can do, right? You can go snowboarding or skiing or
Sure.
whatever, but like we didn't have rentals, we didn't have the right attire for that. So
Yeah.
um we just kind of took in the scenery, and then we decided to drive home like at around 5, I think. So we went home early, but it's a long drive. It's like a 5-hour drive, I think.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah, so I was able to drive back home, thankfully, because I told him, I was like, well, I'll take it early. But the thing is, they do, those mushrooms hit so late. Like it hit me about an hour and a half after I had taken that half a
Yeah.
stem. Like, and I didn't expect it to ever be that violent because it was only like this much.
Yeah. No, it's
And it was
weird how
bad.
it can fuck with you sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember because yeah, I was when I was kind of playing with it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then it started fucking with my injury with my back and
Mm-hmm.
neck. And one of the last times I'd taken it, I was like, oh, well, I'll outsmart them. I'll take a little bit. Doesn't work. They fuck you up anyway. Like
Right.
it's wild. I mean, obviously taking a less amount is going to be somewhat less intense, but it's like it's still intense enough to kind of ruin your day.
True. Yeah. I mean, fortunately, like I was able to still appreciate what was around me,
Yeah, yeah, of
and
course.
yeah, I felt physically shitty,
Yeah,
but it was a beautiful day, and
yeah, of
can't be
course.
mad about it. But I think like I don't know, I don't know if I'll do mushrooms again. I don't think my body
Kind of where I'm
metabolizes
at.
it well.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think my body doesn't react to it well. It could be my liver, you know.
yeah,
It maybe it poisons it, so that's why I get so
yeah. Well, I
violent.
mean, technically, it is
It is poison.
poison. Like, which sounds worse than it is because like so is alcohol. So it's like there's
Right.
so is like like
Anything.
anything. Like yeah, exactly. Like it's just the amount of the dosage, but
Hmm.
part of me kind of wonders. I think we've talked about this before. There's like an Alan Watts thing where he talks about that, where he's like, okay, if you see it and then you keep coming back, well, you already saw it. What are you doing here? Like,
Yeah,
don't be
that's
greedy.
what.
Like, and part of me wonders if it's like if physically your body punishes you for I think that's maybe kind of hokey. Maybe that's just my kind of weird like Zen shit that I'm like, oh, it's my body knows I've already gotten Satori, so I shouldn't be back here.
Yeah,
But part of me feels like that, where it's like I don't.
in a sense, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't think.
Because
Yeah,
Frankie said that too. Frankie was like, "You don't need it anymore," and I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I think I got my initial like the
What you need
very
from it.
first time I did
Yeah,
shrooms, and that really like I swear to God, it cured my anxiety to a certain extent
sure.
and my depression.
It
Like it
just changes your
totally helped."
perception. Yeah, and like I have like now, especially the sky always does it for me, but like nature in general. But
Yeah.
like now I look at the sky and it's in a way
Right.
it's like that same kind of sight that you have during a trip.
Always.
Um,
Yeah.
and but I can do that with like anything, where I can
Yeah.
now like I can just like zone in on something, and I have that kind of almost like childlike wonder about it and
Appreciation, yeah.
appreciation for it. And it's like if you've got that and you've got some of the insight that it brings you, then it's like I don't need to go back, because
Exactly.
the other part, you know, there's moments that are exciting where you're feeling the music or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but overall it's just like, yeah, it's like your body having a violent reaction. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't think I need to go back,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, I don't I if anything, I'll try acid probably because that's like a very much lighter version of shrooms.
I've heard the
Um
opposite, so maybe research that.
mhm.
Yeah, I've heard that
Because
it's like you can have a bad trip easier.
Frankie did it with his friends for the first time. They had done it like a while ago, and they both said they were like it was way chiller. Like
Huh.
it's easier to be social. It's not as like grounded as
Right.
shrooms, you know, like nature based kind of shit. Like it is cool, trippy, and like good
Yeah.
vibes. But yeah, I mean, it is a longer trip though. You can trip up to like 12 hours.
See, that sounds fine if you're having a good trip, and fucking awful if you're having a bad trip.
True.
Um, I don't know. I have to, because before I did shrooms, I kind of did a lot of research to make sure like what's the effect on your heart, and it's not significant. Like it
Mm.
elevates your heart rate, but you know, not more than like intense exercise or something like
So
that.
does weed. I mean,
Right, exactly. So is weed, so is everything. You know, sugar, caffeine.
there you
Um,
go.
but yeah, I don't want to kind of venture too far out into other stuff because I don't know. Um,
Yeah, true.
and in general with psychedelics, it's like I feel like I got what I needed. I'm good. Honestly, like, so we talked about this a little bit. So I was off of weed for like
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning of the year to my birthday, and
Mm-hmm.
then I smoked some on my birthday, and I
Oh,
had
bitch, happy birthday. I don't think said happy birthday because I suck.
it's like fucking 2 weeks later. No,
Sorry.
um, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Uh, but yeah, no. So I smoked on my birthday, and you know what? I had a good time doing that for like that day and the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I kind of kept smoking for like a week, and I didn't enjoy it. And then I just stopped, and I'm not again for a while. You know, I
Yeah.
might do it once a month,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't like it. Again, like the first couple times, it was like, oh, cool, I remember why I did this. Like I started writing, so you start thinking about things from like an alien perspective. I think it's good to dip your toe in that and get that every once in a while, but I don't think I'm gonna ever do it like regularly again, just because of how quickly it went back to like the urge to do it all the time, where it's like, oh, wake up, well, I better do that because it's something that, you know, if I feel anxious, like immediately I'm like, oh, well, I could go do that. And it's like,
Mm.
and it just slows me down. And it's not
Oh.
even, it's funny because there's the whole like you can function while you're doing it, and that's true, but for me it's not even so much the functioning when you're high. It's that when I feel like when I'm smoking weed consistently, when I'm sober, I'm not sober. Like I feel dulled, and like I don't have that kind of crisp kind of clarity.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it also kind of messes with my voice, and I'm trying to do, you know, work on
Hold
improving
on.
it. So,
Wait, hold on. I think I'm having connection issues.
yeah, no, it's mine too. I just got an alert that was like,
Oh,
your
that's
internet's
you.
unstable.
Oh shit. It's breaking up.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Oh,
Oh, hello?
hi. It's still breaking up. I can't really
God damn
understand.
it.
Maybe that'll work. Okay.
Janky.
I know, right? Oh my god. Okay, so you said you were had to leave at what time?
I like two.
Oh, at 2.
Yeah,
Oh.
because I got like therapy. Um,
Oh, how's therapy going?
it's been good. It's like every 2 weeks we're doing it. So
It's what? Sorry, every what?
2 weeks.
Oh, that's good. It's
Yeah.
not bad.
Is it freezing again?
You did freeze for a second,
God
but
damn it.
you're good. You're good. Okay, now you're good.
Okay.
Um, but
Um,
anyway, you were talking about okay, so you're not gonna smoke for a while. You'll do it here and there. It's not like okay, you were talking about the functioning part though.
right. So I don't know if you heard this, but it's not that I can't function when I'm high.
Mm-hmm.
It's that if I'm smoking weed consistently, when I am sober, I don't feel sober. Like I don't feel clear and like
You get
I
the
feel
foggy
I
brain.
get foggy where I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, well, I feel foggy and tired and like and
Mm.
then when I would smoke ever, again, like when I first went back to it, it was like great and I was like, vibing with music and like, oh, let me go get a snack and like all that kind of stereotypical stuff where you're enjoying different things more.
Mm-hmm.
But then after like literally like 2 days, all it would do is just it would get me in my head. Where as soon as I smoked, I'd be like, why'd I do that? And I'd be paranoid about things and
Oh,
thinking about stuff and like and it just kind of it just was fucking with me. And so I was back to smoking for like a week and then I was like, I'm done. I gotta not do this anymore.
mm,
Um so I have
okay.
some gummies that I'll every once in a while I'll take at night, like an hour before I want to go to bed. So you're like, "Ooh, I feel good," and then you pass the hell
Right,
out.
pass out.
That's
Hmm.
fine, but like, yeah, I think I'm just done
I mean,
smoking.
yeah, if you could use it like when you need it,
Right.
then yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, that's
Um,
why I also like the gummies because I'm only gonna take gummies when
at night. Hmm.
I'm done with everything and it's time to go to bed. Like, whereas smoking, it's like you can smoke anytime, and
True.
that's just not really. It just fucked up my whole routine, and then there's a cycle where then I start getting depressed about the fact that I'm fucking up my routine, and then I'm getting anxious, and then I'm smoking more to try and cure my anxiety, and then it's just like it wasn't doing it for me.
Okay.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I'm getting old. I don't want to smoke anymore.
That's funny.
I'm
I'm
like, I
over
just
here
want to do
like,
my yoga, drink my tea,
I
in bed
mean,
by 9.
same, but hold on, let me take a hit. My neck
No,
hurts.
assalamu alaikum. If it works for you, but it's just, it doesn't work for me anymore.
Yeah. And I think that happens to some people sometimes because I met this girl yesterday that apparently she was a total stoner,
Yeah.
but she also had really bad anxiety, which is why she would be smoking, but then she wasn't able to function anymore on it.
Yeah,
And I think that's interesting. And I wonder, like, is it it's probably part of the anxiety,
it
that
is.
really,
It's because it's not, I think CBD is effective for anxiety. I
yeah,
think
for
weed
sure.
ultimately is not. Um,
THC isn't
yeah,
usually,
exactly. And
because
but I feel like it gives you like a momentary release of anxiety in this like in the same kind of way that like a cigarette does, where your body's rewarding itself, like, oh, we're doing our favorite thing right now. Oh, we're being a little bad. But then like a cigarette or a dessert or whatever, it's like immediately after you finish consuming it, the anxiety just comes back in the form of guilt for doing the thing you're not really supposed to be doing right now. And so it's like, okay, I've clearly got too much anxiety to be smoking.
yeah. I think if your anxiety's high, that's probably not the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because um, I definitely started doing better with weed in general when my anxiety got better,
Yeah, of
like a
course.
lot better. And then, you know, I wasn't, because that's my first smoke of the day. Like a lot of the times I won't wake and bake anymore. I'll
Yeah.
do my stuff and then I'm like, okay, I did everything. Let me have a
Yeah.
little smoke session,
Sure.
you know. And then I usually do stuff from there too.
Yeah.
But too, like for me it's just pain wise helps a lot. CBD on its own isn't strong enough for me.
Yeah.
I need more.
Yeah. No, that
So
makes sense.
yeah, but I get it. I mean, yeah, everyone's different. That's the crazy thing. It's like with all these, you know, things, you kind of have to experiment on your own to figure out like what works for you and what doesn't.
A
And if
hundred
it
percent.
doesn't,
And
then
and
just
don't
let
get
it
it
go.
twisted. Like when I'm back in LA, we're gonna puff pass. Like we're gonna hang
Right.
out. But
No,
it's
for
just
sure.
I think just like on my own, like as a daily thing, I'm just done with that,
Right. Yeah. I was watching Bong Appetit and they have for season 3, they have a cook-off season where
Okay.
they're doing like a competition. And there's this one guy who's like in his 40s now. Um, and he was talking about how when he was younger, it used to like bug him out. He's like, weed used to really bug me out when I was younger. He's like, but when I turned 40, I needed to use it medically because he started having health problems
Sure.
and it was really helpful for him. And he said, he's like, I really should have been using it medically all my life.
Right.
But it shows how like you change,
Well,
you
you
know what I
change.
mean?
Yeah,
People
your body
change.
changes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, maybe not now, maybe later, maybe never again, you know.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
for shrooms with me, I'm like, maybe never again.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't find it necessary, and it doesn't.
Honestly, it's like, yeah, with shrooms or any psychedelic, like at minimum
It's
years.
strong.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm not gonna think about, I'm not gonna say never because who knows, in 10 years I might be in a music festival somewhere and someone's like, hey, let's, and you kind of you feel okay and you feel up to it. But right now I'm just like, I'm good. I got what I wanted.
Right.
Um,
Exactly. Or what you needed more than
yeah, exactly.
anything.
More. I got what I needed more than what I wanted actually. But which
Exactly.
is great. I love that.
Yeah, it is good. I mean,
But that was
hell.
the other weird thing too. Like when I was having that kind of off week where I was smoking too much and stuff, it's like I couldn't keep all of that stuff in mind. Like all of the kind of the Zen things and that feeling
Mm.
of feeling like,
Staying mindful,
yeah, staying
basically.
mindful and finding fulfillment in like good things. Like I started psyching myself out where it's like I'm like putting off homework and putting off editing the podcast or doing my art or whatever, because in my head I start thinking of it like work, and it's like I forget that all this stuff, like,
It's fun.
it's play. Yeah, even the homework, it's like I picked classes I like, so it's like I enjoy doing this stuff, but then it's, I don't know why that mind state just kind of put me back in a place where I'm like trying to delay the moment as opposed to just living in the moment and enjoying it.
Right. Yeah.
um
Definitely. Yeah,
but
that's a problem.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's good.
I've
I
been
mean,
feeling good though this week, like especially with the yoga, and I've been sleeping on my back, which has been helpful. I don't hate sleeping on my back, but it's been good for my injury. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, best progress I've had in months with my alignment and all that crap.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Fuck. Lucky you. I was thinking, okay, have you heard of Alexander technique?
No, what's that?
So there's this thing called Alexander technique that literally anybody, okay, so here's part of our little fucking segment. What did you learn last week? So
Oh
last
yeah, I
week I
forgot
learned
about that.
Alexander technique. So it's this technique that is taught by certified teachers um that have to like take years of classes to become teachers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically proper alignment, training your body to be properly aligned at all times,
Yeah.
to where it's the least amount of effort.
Yes.
And
okay, I need to do this.
This helps. I mean, you can take like courses and get private classes, but I think they're kind of expensive. But I'm like, bitch, I would
YouTube.
love to, right? I was thinking about it, but I would love to, like, save up money and take a class like that, because it's good for overall health. But it helps with
Yeah.
singing, it helps with dancing, it helps with sports, it helps with literally anything. And I mean, it's so cool. So write it down, Alexander technique.
I am.
And remember that video that I sent you of that girl that was singing, and
Yes.
she like
Yes.
found her voice?
It's because she was in alignment. Of
Yeah,
course.
and she was doing the Alexander technique. That's why her teacher was doing all those, corrections and like wiggling her.
Yeah.
Because that brought that sound out of her,
Yeah.
and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. And I remember my mom used to kind of tell me something similar.
Mm-hmm.
And she would always tell me how like you have to be totally relaxed when you're singing and taking like deep breaths and shit like that,
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, your picture's freezing. I can still hear you, but there, you're back.
Oh, okay.
It's saying my internet connection's unstable though.
You unstable as fuck.
True.
Shit.
Oh, now you're freezing.
You're still unstable.
Bitch, you're unstable.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
All right.
Are we unfrozen?
Yeah, you're unfrozen. You're pixelated and a little broken up, but for the most part, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, alignment, voice and stuff. It's the relaxation part helps, because again, I think I have that tendency to, I want to force it. And I also want to skip to the good part. I also realized I'm impatient. And you know that thing we were talking about where it's like how you do one thing is how you do anything.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like that with everything. I'm impatient and I want to get to the good part.
We all
And
are.
yeah, well, yeah, but it's just, but something I kind of realized, so with ballet, I was like that for years. I didn't have the patience to stretch and work out properly. I would get discouraged by it, and I was suffering for it. And then something clicked, and I finally started stretching and working out properly outside of class, and all of a sudden I started improving.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
where I've been coming to practice songs I got to do for my voice class, and I do like bare minimum warm up, and then I'm wondering why I'm not improving. And it suddenly clicked where I'm like, I'm not doing my vocal push-ups. The fuck am I expecting? Like,
yeah,
I gotta do all that. What am I afraid of? Why am I afraid of going like la 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 la, like doing all that bullshit? Like,
right.
you have to do that. You know, when I played piano as a kid, I hated doing scales. I wanted to get right to the song, and it's like you got to do your scales. You gotta slow down. Yeah, and that's been like a big thing where I've been thinking about where, because I feel like with ballet, I was finally starting to get all that stuff where, you know, I was still partying too much outside, but in terms of like stretching and working out and like putting all of my effort towards this thing and realizing what that took, I was getting there. And now I have to keep reminding myself that everything is the same as ballet. And it's like you have to apply that same kind of drive, but also leave that stress and that forcing it with everything. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned this week is everything is ballet. And
Yeah.
so
You
that's
have
how
to
I
you have to go through the process, you know? Everything's just a process.
Yeah.
Damn.
So,
You know, sometimes I wonder, like, sometimes I wish my mom were around to like have these conversations with us, because I wonder what she would say, and she'd probably just be like, yeah.
She'd be like, y'all dumb as fuck.
Be like, y'all just figuring this out.
Yeah. It's funny. I was talking to my mom the other day, and I had said something about how like, because I was having a kind of rough week, whatever, and I was saying like every time I'm in a good stretch, I allow myself to get fooled into thinking like, oh, I got it from here on out. Like I'm gonna have a good stretch. I figured out my routine. I figured out being happy, getting stuff done. I'm good. And then a bad stretch happens, and I'm like, why am I depressed and unproductive and anxious again? Like, what is this bullshit? Why is this back? I thought I was past this. And she just laughed and was like, oh, you're so young. Thinking you're going to figure it out and it's going to click. And it's like, no, it's not how it works. It's a cycle. Like,
yeah, it always does. There's ups and downs all the time. There always will be, you know.
You just
like,
got to get
just
better at managing the downs. Like that, but they're still going to come. Like,
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Learning how to be productive in even those times, you know?
Yeah.
Or just accepting what's happening and that acknowledging it. Like that's what I do. I'm like, well, I'm anxious right now. Like this is happening. And then you're like, okay, so what can I change like right now? Like what is something that I am in control of?
Right.
And do it, you know?
Yeah.
It might be taking a shower, like having a snack.
It's that hesitation. If you don't hesitate and you go, what's the thing that'll help right now? Taking a shower, taking a walk, doing some yoga, whatever. If you do it right away, you're good.
True. If you
hesitate,
put it off,
that moment of hesitation can last years. Where you're just like,
it becomes depression.
It becomes depression, which becomes anxiety, which becomes depression, and then what you're using inefficient means where you're going like, oh, you know what? Let me get a bag of chips. Let me get comfort.
Let me have a drink.
And now and then it's not as effective.
Exactly. Yeah. Damn. What will I learn in the next year? I'm wondering.
So many things, because we got to learn something every week.
I know. All right, shit. Fuck. We're gonna be like cultured bitches after this fucking.
Except for my dumb ass, I'm gonna be learning the same thing every week. Gonna be 30, like, hey, I just realized I gotta be more patient.
I'm sure somewhere in like our first episode that we made, we were talking about the same shit.
Thing. Yeah, of course.
Same shit, different week. Honestly. No, but Katana's been standing here for as long as we've been talking, not moving. Like she's just been standing here, like just not even making eye contact with me, just
like,
looking.
aw.
All right, come on, get up here. Come on. Look, there's Michael.
Kitana.
She's so sweet. Oh, I gave her a bath yesterday. She has flea allergies, which is funny. I would have never thought a dog can be allergic to fleas.
Allergic
right?
to fleas, yeah.
And it's like, I mean, all dogs get fleas, and she like when she was younger, she used to get fleas all the time.
Yeah.
And I would have a flea shampoo for her that worked really well. But in Mexico they sell it. That shit's strong as fuck. But and she never used to have like a big issue with fleas, or maybe it's because also I did get rid of them as soon as I would see them. But usually,
Yeah.
you know, even if she had them for a period of time, she wouldn't get too bad. But I realized like all of a sudden she was getting these big flaky patches on her skin that were like bleeding too, and they were really thick, like crusty yellow, like nasty patches.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then I took her to the vet out here. It was a free consultation. They wanted to charge me like almost $200 for like all this stuff. Yeah, that they recommended. He's like, antibiotic, this test, this. And I was like, can you just do a scrape test to make sure it's not mange? And I paid $35 for that. And then he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a flea allergy, but your dog also needs to get like antibiotics and this and that because of secondary infections. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So I was like, give me the flea medication, and it's $21, you know, for like a pill. So I was like, give me that. And then I took her home. I washed her down with some oatmeal, some real oatmeal, and then with some oatmeal shampoo, dog shampoo. And I did that. And then I would do like little oatmeal rinses for her. She was fine. Like in 2 weeks, she was totally healed. No problem. And it was just the allergy. So same thing started happening. Apparently, I guess she got fleas somewhere. I don't know where or when, but she got fleas, and I started seeing the patches, and I was like, and she was scratching herself a lot. So I'm like, oh fuck. So I got her flea medication yesterday, and I gave her a little bath. She always has her oatmeal shampoo because she's got sensitive skin and shit.
She's fancy.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, so she's all nice and clean and not flaky. But crazy, like flea allergy. That shit's insane.
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Do you need to go?
No, I can go in like a little over 5 minutes. Let's do we got a couple more segments.
Cram them in. Let's go.
All right, cram them in. Let's do fuck up of the week. You got anything?
Taking that mushroom. That half a stem. That was a big fuck up. Yeah. I didn't get anything from that except for throwing up. But anyway, go ahead with yours.
Yeah, allowing hesitation to expand. And kind of going like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna go for a walk today. I'm gonna, you know, and seeking out comfort food, and just kind of like it took a few days to snap myself out of it. And I'm like, I gotta stop. I gotta get quicker at that, you know.
No, but the thing is like it is up and down, and sometimes you're gonna be like that for a week or two, and you can't always force it. Sometimes you do need to like let yourself wallow for a minute.
But I think there's like good rest, and then there's like you know, like I think actually what helped was getting moving again, returning to more seriously focusing on my yoga, because I was doing it, but I was doing all the good things like going for walks, taking yoga, but I was doing it to get through it because I felt like shit. And really, it's like you gotta kind of, in order to get the benefit from those things, you have to pour a little bit more into them. So yeah, I'd say that was my fuck up. All right, what about Kuro to you?
Oh, damn. What have I seen recently? I can't even think of. Do you have one?
Yeah, this week mine. I can't believe I haven't said it already. Kurt Vonnegut, who's that author that I really love, and I just got my second tattoo of his artwork.
Oh shit! Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. So You know, really, really good author, postmodern, very funny. Yeah. Have you read any of his stuff? I forget.
No.
Dude, you
You've
gotta.
told me a lot
I
about
know.
his stuff.
I gotta give you one. I've got a few of his books. I'll give you a couple books to read. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
he's
good.
fantastic. What about you?
My guru, let's see, I can't even. Trying to think about all the things I've done and seen this week. And guru, actually, you know what? My grandma, why not? Fuck it.
Yay!
She's crazy. Okay, no,
He's the best.
she's sweet. She's a sweet lady, and you know, she's a little, you know, old fashioned.
Hmm.
I mean, she's 90 for God's sake.
Yeah, she's alive.
But she's still progressive for
For
her
being
age,
90.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for being 90, she's still pretty progressive and open-minded, and um she's a very generous lady, you know. She's a little controlling, she's a little bit of a matriarch, you know, but
Hmm.
she feels entitled to that.
Yeah.
But
Damn straight.
she's sweet. She's, you know, ever since my mom passed away, she's been a big support, one of my biggest support systems, you know.
Yeah.
Her and you, and pretty
Frankie
much,
G.
and yeah, well, Frankie, yeah, now. But in the beginning, she kind of like, it's almost as if she raised me from afar, you know. She was like
Yeah.
my mentor. Um, and yeah, so I guess she would be my guru for this week, you know.
Yeah.
Why not? I'm like, that's easy. Someone I know, I guess. People I
Yeah.
like, right?
It doesn't have to be, yeah, it doesn't always have to be like someone on TV or something. It's just someone that you feel inspired by and that kind of, yeah, you see as a mentor, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's definitely been a big mentor for me the past 5 years, I guess. Damn, it's been 5 years
Damn.
since my mom passed away. That shit's crazy.
That's wild. Where's the time go?
It'll be 6 in November.
Oh man.
Wild. Yeah, it doesn't even, and that's the crazy thing. I always think about, you know, time. I always think about how quickly it does go by quick, you know.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's like 5 years later and it feels like that happened like last year, 2 years ago, you know.
You blink and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's cool to
like, Dawg, I've known you 10 years. What the
Dude,
fuck?
that's so weird. Yeah.
That's so weird.
That's crazy. Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
Not I said the fly.
I said the fly.
Did you send me that meme? It's like when you meet your best friend, it's like, I hate you, bitch, or something.
Yeah.
Oh, every great friendship always starts with, when I first saw you, I thought you were a bitch. Accurate.
It's 100% true. Like,
I
everyone that I'm
why.
close to, at first we did not get on. Like,
I don't know how that happens.
it's weird.
Maybe it's because you're able to like actually get to know somebody and be like, oh, you know, they're not that bad.
Yeah.
But it just shows how much like your prejudice could get in the way too.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, you gotta go?
Yeah, pretty soon. Yeah. What do you got going on the rest of the day?
Just laundry, cleaning up. Maybe I'll do some yoga.
Do some yoga.
I should really do yoga. I know. I've been definitely
Did I send you that channel, Yoga with Adrian?
Bitch, I sent you that channel.
I'm dead. I can't. Oh my God.
You little fake bitch.
So you gotta watch her shit.
You've been taking credit this whole time? No.
I know. Like that. Did that turn you on? Have you seen the show Arrested Development? It's wild.
Also, you love that, right?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're season 2, what episode?
God, I don't know. But almost done with season 2. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
We gotta, next time we'll talk about that.
We will. Okay. All right. I'll let you know my schedule. Maybe I'll be able to record tomorrow, but I don't know if you're able to.
Yeah.
All right. See you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.